This video is brought to you by Roll for Combat, an official Paizo actual play podcast. Join Acheron, Hap, Alhara, Riley, Darius, and the entire Circus of Wayward Wonders as they save the Starstone Isles from the dreaded extinction curse. Listen now to 3-Ring Adventure at rollforcombat.com. Hey everybody, Dave here with another Pathfinder rule reminder for you, and today's question is about calculating your spell attack bonus and your spell DC when you are using innate spells. Now, for those who are not familiar with innate spells, there are some feats, for example the otherworldly magic feat that elves get access to at first level, that allow you to cast a spell innately. And so that represents maybe your character's natural affinity for casting spells and not your class. To keep things easy, let's first talk about these characters who cannot normally cast spells. So maybe it is, again, a fighter who can cast a spell innately through a feat they picked up. All characters always have at least trained proficiency in casting their innate spells, and they use charisma as their key ability modifier when calculating their spell attack bonus and their spell DC. So that's pretty simple and straightforward for a character like a fighter who does not normally cast spells, but what if it's a character who can cast spells through their class? Maybe it is a cleric who picks up that otherworldly magic feat or some other feat that allows them to cast innate spells. Well, the calculations are going to mostly be the same. The only major difference is going to be if you can already cast spells and you have a proficiency modifier for casting any spells that is higher than trained proficiency, then you use that proficiency level when calculating your spell attack bonus and your spell DC for innate spells. So if you are a cleric and you can cast divine spells at expert proficiency, then you will be casting your innate spells at expert proficiency as well, and same if you were master or legendary. Now, the area that I think confuses a lot of people gets into what key ability modifier you use. The rule of thumb is that you always use charisma for your innate spells unless the feat or whatever other ability or trait gives you access to that innate spell specifically tells you to do otherwise. So with that cleric, even though they use wisdom to cast their divine spells, they use their wisdom modifier for calculating their spell attack bonus and spell DC, they would still use their charisma ability modifier when making those calculations for casting their innate spell. So they're going to have two separate tracks for this is what I roll for a spell attack bonus or a spell DC when I use my innate spell, because that spell is going to be based on charisma, and then they're going to track a separate spell attack bonus and spell DC for all of their divine spells that are given through their class and that are calculated using their wisdom ability modifier. And another point that seems to be confused sometimes is the traditions don't matter at all. Again, the bottom line is when you cast an innate spell, then you calculate the spell attack bonus and spell DC using either trained as your proficiency or a higher proficiency level if you are able to cast any other spells through your class at a higher proficiency level. You use that highest proficiency level, but you're going to use charisma as the ability modifier when making those calculations for your innate spell, no matter what ability modifier you use for your regular class provided spells. So that's it for today. As always, please let me know in the comments what suggestions you have for future rule reminders. In the description of this video, I will make sure I leave links to my other videos that kind of do a real deep dive into not just innate spellcasting, but just spellcasting in general. Really goes over and provides examples for how you do all your calculations when spellcasting. I'll make sure I leave those links in the description. If you'd like to get more information about this topic, check those out. And as always, I want to make sure I thank everybody in the community who supports me. I greatly appreciate it when you folks leave comments and click the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and subscribe to the Patreon as well. Thank you so much for all the support you all give me. And with that, thanks for watching, take care, and happy gaming.